we are moving on to the boys 4x400 Class 1A, 2A, and 3A. We start, of course, with Class 1A, and this will be your final preliminary of the day. These events, as we'll move on then to the finals of the 3200. So plenty of track and field action left on this Friday afternoon, Friday evening now. And as we start this first preliminary heat for the Class 1A boys, it's going to be Otis Bison, Clifton Clyde, South Central, St. John. St. John with the best seat time coming into this heat, 3:33.29. And then Centralia in lane 5. And Elyria Christian. Elyria. I'm going to get that right someday. Osborne Madison. I thought I'd just throw out a try. As we are up and running. So I'll let you do that one, Rod.
Okay. I only know it because I live down in that area, so I'm kind of cheating.
You know, I did one of their basketball games. What can I come up with that? This doesn't look right to me. Okay.
Osborne looking very solid.
Again, Osborne started out of lane 7. In the team, if we go by the seedings, St. John, the team to beat. A long way to go in this 4x400. We've discovered time and time again watching the girls.
Let's see who gets the handoff here first. Looks like Osborne just to get it away first. That is Coldwater giving chase. Clifton Clyde also out there. And in lane 4, St. John. Now St. John in second place. Osborne still leading. As Coldwater South Central. Coldwater produced one of the great female hurdlers from back in the 70s, Renee Bumgarner.
Coldwater Eagles back in the day, and the Protection Panthers, and then they consolidated to form South Central. The Timberwolves, a lot of Timberwolves down there near Coldwater. That's a joke to Rod. They changed their colors to green and black. Is a common thing that happens when rival schools consolidate. We're not wearing your colors and you're not wearing ours.
And we're not using your name. Yeah.
St. John taking the lead.
From way back that just things are different, a little bit different with consolidation. This is Osborne still with the lead. Here comes St. John trying to get themselves up to the front, and then South Central and Centralia. I believe. Yes, it is.
And St. John in the second. See what they do on this exchange.
Good exchange by both. Out quickly is Osborne.
Centralia right there in third place.
This is going to be a good finish. Get out the photo finish cameras because this one could be close. Here comes St. John trying to power past Osborne again. It is St. John taking the lead. Centralia giving chase. Osborne still trying to stay in the fight right here with 200 meters to go.
This is going to be a good one coming around this final turn.
Who has got the muscle to make it happen?
See if St. John will pull away as we would expect, but you never know. He's coming down that final stretch.
Here comes Centralia, working hard. But it is St. John, followed by Centralia and then Osborne.
Tigers holding on as, again, Centralia coming up to finish second. And after all that, that's pretty much how it was supposed to happen. The two top teams, the two top seed times coming in to that preliminary, St. John and Centralia.
Not just exactly like we expected it to. It's always good, but it just makes us look just a little bit smarter. Let's move on to the second heat. Chase County in lane 1, St. John's of Beloit in lane 2, Greeley County in lane 3, South Gray in lane 4, Dighton in lane 5, Scandia Pike Valley in lane 6, Kensington Thunder Ridge in lane 7, and Hutchinson Central Christian in lane 8. Kensington Thunder Ridge, I would take it that would be Kensington and Eastern Heights together, if I remember right.
Yeah, I remember when Kensington used to have some pretty good 8-man football. Now they're a consolidated school. The Gold Bugs, I believe.
The Gold Bugs.
And we got two Fowler Gold Bugs. It's kind of a unique mascot, but one time.
Like Grinnell, there were a lot of last names struck off. I was doing basketball there, and they had twins. If it wasn't hard enough, then I had twins to deal with. Great basketball teams, great kids, great program.
And again, South Gray, the Rebels, starting in the lane 4 with the best time coming in, 3:33.03.
They're in lane 6, Pike Valley. Trying to make up the stagger. Also coming up on the inside. That is the favorite. Check that. That is in lane 5. That is Dighton. See how they get to the stagger. Looks like Dighton may get the baton first. And they do. And in lane 4 then it's South Gray getting it second. Out in lane 8 trying to keep themselves in it, Hutchinson Central Christian. Pike Valley also moving up, trying to get back in the fight. They are now in 3rd. But it's a 2-team race right now. Dighton and South Gray.
Now Dighton came in with the 2nd best seed time, so it's just like it's supposed to be right now, 1 and 2.
3:36 to 3:33 for South Gray. There's that coming up in a hurry from behind. We'll have to check that out in the red. That is still South Gray and Dighton. Make their way down the backstretch. We'll have one leg to go right after this. And that is Greeley County in 3rd place, trying to give chase. Greeley County trying to get back in this fight. Greeley County, who was back in 5th place during the last leg, got themselves up to 3rd. And the question right now is, can they get close enough to at least challenge for 2nd place? And it looks like they might, because here comes the rest of the field. They're trying to haul in the runner from South Gray, who's starting to labor a little bit. It is Dighton in 1st, South Gray in 2nd, and a new team in 3rd place. That is Pike Valley.
One more leg to go, and the anchor leg is off and running. Let's see who's got the fastest anchor. It's going to decide this race, obviously. A pass over there on the far side.
Here we go. That's South Gray going back in front. South Gray in front. The fourth lane, the #1 seed, Dighton giving chase. And here comes Pike Valley trying to get back into the race as well. Pike Valley moving up around the corner as they've got 110 meters to go.
And Dighton trying to make a move down the stretch. Dighton and South Gray coming at it.
And look at the runner for South Gray. How smooth is that? Just
and that really
away.
That was the difference. He was smooth, and I think Pike Valley may have got 2nd.
And I think the runner from Dighton thought, yeah, you can see him. He's disgusted. I think he thought he had 2nd place, and he did not know that Pike Valley was coming up behind him that quickly. And I think that surprised him a little bit.
Well, he gave quite a kick down the stretch trying to catch South Gray. And Chet talked about the split divisions, 1A and 4A, but we're actually going back next year with just 1 through 6A in all sports. So I think that's a good idea.
Well, in 4A, it's been a little bit tough because that is the one class where there was more disparity between the smaller school and the bigger school than probably any class around.
They tried to, going back, they have tried to balance it out between 4A and 3A in this new system. 1A is the school, the class that's really going to be a discrepancy, as it's going to be back to one class, no Division I or Division II in basketball.
Well, I don't think it's going to be. I mean, there's a lot of question as to whether that's going to be all right. I think the one thing about 1A is that there's so many schools.
Yeah, I don't know if the discrepancy, how big it is. It just depends on.
I wouldn't mind. I mean, if they want to do that, I don't know how they could do it. Of course, an 8-man is 8-man. Then it's 1 and 2A in football. But when you get down to basketball, maybe you need 16 teams instead of just 8 if you're going to have that many 1A schools in one thing in one division. And they have regionals, then they have sub-state instead of just a sub-state.
Also, we're seeing more and more. We have 6-man football now in the state of Kansas. It is not affiliated with the Kansas State Activities Association yet, but more schools are moving to 6-man football, and they have their own state championship every year.
They do.
They have it in Dodge City.
Wallace
and the last 2 years they've had it. And, it's just that we were a handful of teams playing 6-man, but I understand more and more there's going to be more at it this year as schools lose their populations.
Coming down right now, this is
Class 2A, the 4x400, and the boys. Pleasanton, Marine Academy.
Jeff County North in front.
They were the favorite coming in, 329.47, but Ellis not too far behind with their seed time.
Opie is right there as well.
Marion, Kiowa County, and started out in lane 8 as they come down single file more or less.
Jefferson County North up in Nortonville. They're between Lawrence and Atchison.
As we are winding down the preliminary action, as tomorrow will be a championship Saturday, we all go to the finals, and we still have some finals left from today, as we'll have the 3200 in Class 1A, 2A, and 3A coming up after this 4x400 relay for the boys, and we are in Class 2A right now in the first preliminary heat.
That's Jefferson County North and Ellis in first and second place.
Boy, Jeff County really pulling it out here. That's a good pace.
2 schools making up that count. Jefferson County North, Jeff West.
The bar in Class 2A boys championship rates 6 feet 6 inches.
They're looking very strong right here. Ellis trying to give chase, but no contest right now. It is Jefferson County North pulling away a little bit. Ellis trying to hang on to second place right now. That's going to be their biggest concern, is trying to keep the automatic berth, because there's a lot of people chasing him right now.
This is, boy, an impressive performance from Jefferson County. They led from start to finish in this race.
There was no contest right there. Jefferson County North showing that they're going to be one of the favorites. Have to deal with them later on. Had some pretty good basketball too, occasionally. Gun is up, and we're underway. Meade, Stanton County, Oakley, Smith Center, St. Francis, Wabaunsee, Wichita County, and Mound Ridge.
You talk about these Western Kansas schools. The all-time 2A record in the 4x400 is Stanton County, which is Johnson, Kansas. And that's the record set in 1986.
And that is as close to Colorado as you can get without being in there. Way out straight west of Ulysses. Right now, all eyes on St. Francis, right there in lane 5, powering away from the rest of the field. They're going to get the handoff away easily first. Let's go down to the field, and here's Chet Copeland.
Yeah, keep an eye on St. Francis here. They have an outstanding team who won a lot of relays a year ago. But keep an eye on multi-sport athlete. He'll be running leg 3 next. Tate Bussey. He's actually a preferred walk-on here at Wichita State by Greg Marshall. Remember the last Western Kansas walk-on offered the same thing. A guy named Ron Baker that plays for the New York Knicks. Bussey, All-State in football, All-State in basketball, the 2A Sports in Kansas Player of the Year, 28 points per game. And you're going to see him on the track now as well as one of the top 800-meter runners in the state. And you talk about Levi Gillen, who went on to play at Tulsa back in the day and set some records here. So watch this leg with Tate Bussey here. Outstanding multi-sport athlete from 2A St. Francis.
Thanks for helping me out there, Chad. And again, Tate Bussey, I remember the day he signed with Greg Marshall and the Shockers, or signed on as a preferred walk-on. 28 points a game.
Smith Center is actually leading this race right now, but St. Francis is giving chase.
Let's see what Bussey can do here. He's a good-looking athlete. Got a good form going there. And in the third leg for St. Francis.
Stanton County giving chase. They're back in third place. Boy, great leg turnover. Look at that. Greg Marshall's going, don't get hurt.
Yeah, he's going to come here to play basketball. I know Steve Rainbolt's going to recruit him a little track and field.
Kirk Hunter's going to get a hold of him cross country. Not careful.
He really stretched this one out for St. Francis on this third leg as we're going to the anchor leg now in the final exchange. Tate Bussey, nice run.
Even has enough breath to shout at his teammate, telling him to go.
St. Francis on the carry.
St. Francis looking very strong here. Smith Center hanging on to second place. Stanton County trying to get themselves back in it. It is spread out pretty wide here as they go down the back straightaway with less than 300 meters to go now for St. Francis. Call it 200 meters. St. Francis is going to win this and move on to the next round. Smith Center trying to hang on. Stanton County coming on strong, trying to make a fight of it for second place. We'll see what happens there, but right now it is all St. Francis. Here comes Stanton County and Smith Center fighting for that last automatic bid. St. Francis cruising.
It's really nice to have Chet Copeland in our ear, and he kind of called this one. He said, watch for Tate Bussey, and that was really the key, is Bussey really pulled away and gave him that big lead and into the anchor leg. Not to diminish the performance of the young man who ran the anchor for St. Francis, but
well, that was all of it, though. That really got St. Francis. St. Francis was actually running pretty well, but that pretty much decided it right there.
Yeah, we're going to move back to the 4x400 action as Class 3A is off and running in this first preliminary heat. And again, going into this, Colby be the favorite, but Phillipsburg in lane 5. Look out for them.
It's almost like the women's race. Colby and Phillipsburg. Yeah, we're talking about all the different teams that are in that fight. See who hands off here first. Yeah, it looks like Colby, a little bit of trouble with the handoff, but they do get it away first. Now here comes the rest of the field trying to make up the stagger as they get ready to blend into the first lane. That is Colby, I believe. Is that Phillipsburg? Is everyone comfortably into lane 1? That is Phillipsburg in first. Colby in second. Everyone else giving chase. It's going to get close here, but right now Phillipsburg, and here comes the rest of the field powering past Colby.
Colby was stabbed.
That's Seneca Nemaha Central. And now here comes Colby back to take the lead over Phillipsburg.
Colby really stretching it out here on this leg.
Colby out in front. Phillipsburg giving chase. Seneca Nemaha Central. Already 1, 2, and 3. Here we go. This is one leg to go. Colby out in front after settling in the middle of the pack for the first 2 legs. Now out in front comfortably. Here comes Phillipsburg on the run, trying to close the gap a little bit. Final handoffs underway, both of them solid. And now it just becomes a 3-team chase right here. Seneca Nemaha Central trying to get back in it, but really kind of being left behind now, being swallowed up by the rest of the field.
Colby with trying to maintain that lead against Phillipsburg. It looks like they're doing it for the most part, but let's find out what happens on these final turns where a lot of things are decided.
200 meters to go. Now 150 to go. And here comes Colby. They're going to win this. Phillipsburg will finish in 2nd place, and now it's a big foot race for 3rd place. And for trying to get a decent time. Remember, if you're not in the top 2, you're going to have to get in the finals through a provisional. And they cross the line. Colby winning it. So Scott City certainly with something in the tank here. They are in lane 4 in the dark blue. Again, Perry Lecompton and Beloit. The other 2 teams in the middle lanes, 3, 4, and 5. Again, Halstead, Lakin, Perry Lecompton, Scott Community, Beloit, Wellsville, Kingman, and Caney Valley making up this last heat in Class 3A, and then the long races start. We will have the 3,200-meter runs coming your way. And we have just about caught up. We were behind quite a ways. 95-minute delay because of lightning this morning. But they have really worked hard to make this meet go well. There have been very few delays. The sprinklers were probably about the only delay.
And I think that was a nice respite for some of the people down on the track. They cooled off a little bit, so no big deal.
I don't think they minded too much. Here we go. This is in one of the outside lanes. This is Wellsville, I believe, or Kingman. It is Kingman. And Scott City get the handoffs 1 and 2. But it is Scott City that is going to make up the stagger here and get themselves into the lead. So Scott City using that 2nd leg to get out in front. Kingman trying to give chase. They're going to fall back into 2nd place and maybe further back by the time the rest of the gang really gets running, because they're starting to reel in Kingman right now. But Scott Community is well out in front.
This is where they make their move and they don't look back, as they are making that move. Here come the Beavers.
Now, no challenges here. It's going to be a 1-team race, and then it's going to be a big knot for 2nd place.
Yeah, that's going to be the intriguing part of this race. Is who gets 2nd place, unless something goes drastically wrong for Scott City as they end up to the 3rd leg. In the Class 3A boys, 4x400. So wrap up the 4x400 relays for boys and girls as we are done with the preliminaries. A long day of track and field here at Cessna Stadium. We hope you've enjoyed all the coverage and the broadcast, and boy, it has been terrific pictures. That's the key to this, not us talking. It's what you see, and it has been tremendous.
Well, we have the walking encyclopedia down there, Chad Copeland, and he is just great to work with, and we have great camera crews, everyone back in the truck. We appreciate it. It's just been tremendous today.
And Scott City gonna wrap it up here.
That's Perry Lecompton in 2nd place, by the way. And right next to them is Lakin trying to give chase in 3rd place. But Scott City, well out in front. Doesn't look like anybody's going to catch them right here. They're just going to run smooth and then get ready for tomorrow. And you have to think that they, the way they have shown today, Leon, of course, Lots more coming tomorrow. It's really hard to tell how all the chips are going to fall, especially when you talk about the smaller schools, 1, 2, and 3A. But you got to think they're one of the favorites.
You know, so often today we talk about these seed times, you know, how they translate into actual performance. And you can't really let preliminaries translate into the finals. There's a lot to be decided tomorrow on the track.
Of course, that was a coasting, and I mean coasting, 324 at the end, where that could have very easily had a couple of more seconds shaved off of it.
Well, that was an easy race for Scott City and Perry LeCompton.
Perry LeCompton ends up in second place.